I'd like to invite our first comedic guest up to the front. Very funny guy, you're gonna love him. Please put your hands together for Fred Kerr.
Folks, I guess you probably heard that marijuana is going to be legal pretty soon. Anybody excited about that? Anyone? So, as you may be aware, the police will be able to check our saliva for cannabis, but only if they have a thing called reasonable suspicion. So you got to look forward to a totally new kind of check stop. Cop just reaches in your car window with a gigantic bag of Doritos, cracks them open, and checks you for drool. Speaking of shitty experiences Speaking of shitty experiences, anybody hear what happened at the Tim Hortons in Langley, BC? Anyone? Yeah, I can summarize it for those who missed it. Woman storms into a Tim's, demands to use the washroom, but she's so rude that the staff denies her access. So in retaliation, she just defecates on the floor and then just flings it at them. True story. Now, the video of Tiger Trixie's testy turd tossing tirade at Tim's went totally viral. When you watch that video, as I urge you to do, recognize this woman for her talent. Because in 8 seconds, she extrudes this log, clips it off like a cigar cutter, and just launches the thing. I have seen professional cowboys achieve far less in 8 seconds at the greatest outdoor show on earth. This woman not only had amazing sphincter control, she also did not throw like a girl. This lady flung her own dung like a coked up chimpanzee playing shortstop. One smooth motion. Speaking of shitty experiences in coffee shops, anyone else have trouble with Starbucks getting your name wrong? This happened to anybody? My name's got 4 letters, F-R-E-D, 1 syllable. I'm watching barista Brittany concentrate a little harder than you'd expect. She scrawls on my cup. Minutes later, her partner, barista Michaela, calls out, "Tall mocha, ready for," and she squints at the cup and says, "Sorry, is it Fred or fired?" She shows me the cup. It says F-I-R-E-D. I said, you know what, Michaela? If I'm honest, it's both. Fred and fired. But I'm at peace with it now. Listen, I don't suppose you got any job openings here, because I've got a Bachelor of Arts degree in literature, and I am fantastic at spelling. Folks, when I was a kid, my parents signed me up for wolf cubs. Cubs are boys between the ages of 8 and 10 years old who can't do sports. And it was shocking to hear the chiseled slab of athleticism you see tonight was not always such a stud, but it's true. Every gym class for me in school was as awkward as Justin Trudeau would feel if trapped in a Mensa meeting. Yeah. So, unfortunately, athletic ability is inherited, and I knew my own children were doomed to become Cubs themselves. So I became a Cub leader, mostly out of shame. Now, the Cub organization does a fantastic job preventing creepy adults from becoming leaders. But they've been far less successful keeping satanic kids from becoming Cubs. A lot of these little fuckers should just have been tasered. But the Cub leadership experience did reinforce something I think I already knew about myself, which is that I am the opposite of a pedophile, folks. I can't fucking stand other people's kids. So the next level after Cubs is Scouts. Scouts are boys at the ages of 11 and 13 who can't do sports and therefore don't get dates. The Scout uniform at the time included a beret. Yeah, and not the kind you find at a secondhand store. So on Tuesday nights, when I should have been hanging around the Mac store, smoking a cigarette and a jean jacket and attempting to meet girls instead, I was in a church basement with a bunch of other dudes. Yeah, wearing berets. Now, smarter kids might have learned from this experience. They might have gone through the logic, let's see, if I'm not that attractive to begin with, Should I, if I want to meet girls, really be strapping on an extra unattractive uniform associated with a group of notorious nerds? But I wasn't that bright, so I went directly from junior high scouts to senior high marching band. Yeah. Now the marching band uniforms took the nerd to a whole new level. You have to picture a gold, full polyester suit, purple stripe up the leg, and then the hat was like a white Orlon fun fur sprayed with gold braid. In addition to being hideous, these outfits were also highly flammable. Yeah, we had majorettes marching with us who would throw fire batons above our heads as we performed. It's really a miracle we weren't all just incinerated in a gigantic polyester-fueled musical nerd fireball. So clearly no dates for me in high school. Finally, long after high school, I did get my first date, but it didn't go that well. We had nothing to say to each other, so she kind of babbled to fill the awkward silence. Well, I just prayed for sweet, sweet death. Years later, I heard she'd become a lesbian, and I like to think I deserve a lot of the credit for that. You know, folks, I look in the mirror each day to try to pick out an outfit, realize that nothing really goes with this skin color. White with red spots. I guess you'd say I'm sort of the opposite of a white supremacist, folks. I'm more of a white inadequate. I'll just leave you with a couple of more anecdotes. Girlfriend drags me out to a Ryan Gosling movie. And yeah, that was what we call in the business world a tough comp. So after 2 hours of gazing at Gosling, the lights come on and she turns to me with a look of what I can only describe as profound disappointment. So I went up to the washroom to have a little cry. And that's where I think the first time I noticed that the fluorescent lights really bring out my giant purple eye bags. And that the high-speed dryers make my hands look fat. I'll leave you with one domestic anecdote, which is that I got 3 kids, and I'm always looking for new stuff to feed them. So went to the store, found a new fish called tilapia. Tilapia is supposed to be healthy, fish is healthy. Bought some tilapia, made a nice tilapia lunch for them before we headed out to the zoo. At the hippo tank, we noticed there's actually a school of fish circling the hippo that the keepers told us help keep the tank clean by consuming a lot of the hippo excrement. Sensing a teachable moment, as great parents do, I turned to the keeper and said, "Sir, what is the name of that, what's the name of that helpful shit-eating fish you got in the tank there?" And he said, "Oh, that'd be tilapia, sir." I guess, folks, that's less of a joke and more of a public service announcement. I want to thank you for listening. My name is Fred Kerr. Thank you.
Keep it going for Fred Kerr, ladies and gentlemen. So before I left, I told you